You pressing Bieber.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? Like, I'm calling you, ain't answering.
Yeah, that was low.
That was weird.
That was crazy.
That was weird.
They did not run through Bieber.
There was. Why you not answering your phone? Like, yo.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
My number.
Yeah.
For years it all played out in plain sight, yet no one really treated it as something to examine. It was just background noise, short clips and jokes. Nobody paused to wonder why a child was in spaces meant for adults. Then 50 Cent mentioned a deleted Netflix segment, and everything changed. People stopped laughing, they started paying closer attention, replaying moments that once seemed harmless and noticing just how unusual they really were.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we've become friends in a strange way, you know.
Like Robin Big.
Yeah. It's like exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're out.
He got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Apparently not.
Justin Bieber was still just a teenager when he was thrust into that world, not gradually or cautiously, but all at once. Cameras followed him everywhere, yet no one was really there to protect him. In one clip, Diddy jokes with him about turning 16, about driving cars, about what he will be allowed to do at certain ages. On the surface, it seems playful, but listening closer, it feels more like terms of a deal being laid out.
Hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. He signed to Usher.
He signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
Justin reminds him that he is only 15, and Diddy laughs, telling him to slow down, like a coach telling a player to wait their turn. The keys will come later, the house will come later, just stay close. And that is the part that hits hardest now, a teenager being handed over to an adult world, with no clear limits, no visible supervision, and no one stepping in to say this is not okay. What makes it worse is that this was not the first time. Diddy had shared similar stories about Usher years earlier. He talked about guiding him when he was young, being there during his early career and shaping his path. Same setup, young artist, powerful figure, private influence. At the time, the industry called it mentorship. Now it reads more like control.
Look at Usher. What Usher say? I seen some things I shouldn't have been seeing at that age. What does that tell you? That he's seen some things, he was around some things when he was young that he shouldn't have been at a Diddy party. So that's going to show you that there's certain things that are happening that's going on that here it is, this kid was saying he shouldn't even seen it and been around it himself. So all the other celebrities who saw it and they stand quiet about it, ain't that in our culture? No snitching. And I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know.
Justin's rise looked like a fairy tale, but behind the smiles he was a kid in rooms full of powerful adults where saying no was risky and asking questions could cost everything. Rumors about Diddy circulated quietly, few spoke out publicly, and those who did were ignored. 50 Cent was one of them, seeing enough to know something felt wrong back then. It was dismissed as drama. Now those warnings sound different.
He dropped the song. It went over our heads.
Which
it's actually
video?
about P. Diddy this whole time.
Which video?
The song Lonely.
Let me see.
Everybody knows my best. I'm so with black. Maybe that's the price you pay for the money and fame at an early age.
He even came out and said stuff about how when he was younger, he was being taken advantage of, which is true. The problem was being a victim of the diddler. What happens? Because he has so much dirt on you, if you go out into the public, he may have videos, he may have embarrassing things. He might even have incriminating footage of you doing things that you were forced to under the influence to do.
There is footage showing Justin being pulled deeper into Diddy's circle. He is called Little Brother, praised on camera, given status, invited into a crew. Everyone is smiling, music is playing, but the power imbalance is clear. Justin is young, and everyone else controls the room.
Guys, the leaked video of Justin Bieber partying with P. Diddy has just emerged, and it looks horrifying. Bieber was not in his right state of mind. Here's the video.
Oh, he's bad boy now.
Look at that. Whoa, look at that.
It's your icon alert.
Look at that.
It's called.
Does that look normal to you guys? What's going on here? He gets down on his knees, starts drinking. Diddy right there. Look at his eyes.
According to Jaguar, Diddy had been circling Justin Bieber early on, quietly watching from a distance. People around Justin noticed it and felt uneasy. Something did not feel right at that time. Justin was still very young, new to fame, and surrounded by adults who controlled his future, and that is when Usher entered the picture.
I'm tired of Usher. I wish somebody would come out and just sue him. We need Usher sued. No, we do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him. Because what I'm realizing is that he's going to fake the funk until the victim, man. He's just going to keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you got to pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away. Right? When the babies used to sucking on the pacifier. That motherfucker gonna keep sucking on that shit until you do what? Till you take it out the mouth. Now it's gonna scream and holler, but eventually it will get used to the fact that his mouth is no longer full with that object. And that it's time to just, learn how to live without it. He been sucking on Diddy's dick a long time. It's time for him to learn how to make this thing happen without the devil's dick in his mouth or ass.
You don't think if he sued, he'll just Lil Woody the situation? And I don't recall. I don't recall.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Jaguar claims Usher stepped in as Justin's manager and protector, taking control of his career and promising to look after him to the outside world. It seemed like the right move, a successful artist, guiding a young star, someone trusted, someone safe. But Jaguar says the promise didn't last. Usher threw him to the wolves.
And that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like, what kind of fucking asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you?
That is where the story turns darker. Jaguar doesn't just question Diddy's actions, she questions Usher's role, she says, when someone who once needed protection grows up and then places another young person into the same environment. That is not mentorship, that is a cycle. Diddy's complicated relationship with Usher is well documented, with him even publicly claiming he used to sleep with the young singer.
Usher look like he fresh off goddamn plane. Usher fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And what did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this with me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid. Listen, having a good time.
Usher is a procurer. And if Usher knew what was going to happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak off, is he a good guy? Especially considering what happened to him. Especially considering that he sat Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for yours. Yours are just good enough to die in Lake Lanier with no real investigation. Got it? Like, these aren't good people!
All right, Jeff.
He's not good! He's a... And the simple fact that Justin Bieber literally made a public statement and said, Usher asked me to do the Super Bowl with him and I turned it down.
Run for the hills.
Why would he turn it down? Who turns down the Super Bowl?
In this version of the story, Justin didn't just grow up and move on, he pulled away. Jaguar's message is clear. She believes the industry protects itself by staying quiet, that young artists are passed along instead of truly protected. And as long as no one officially speaks up, the cycle continues. Jaguar Wright says when she looks at Justin Bieber today, she doesn't see a superstar, she sees someone who went through things most people will never understand. She points to an interview where Justin talked about Billie Eilish's voice, shook, his eyes filled up. He said he just wanted to protect her, he wanted to keep her safe.
Oh, quick. Yeah, she's crazy. She's a superstar.
Superstar, right? So you're there and you see her and you see the way she's reacting to you. And I wonder what was going through your mind, because I've never had a chance to ask you that, because I know what was going through her mind, because I've had a chance to ask her that, and it was pretty clear in the video what's going through her mind. She can't even. What was going through your mind when you saw that kind of reaction? And also now in the knowledge that you were just coming out of that space yourself.
I wanted to protect the moment. You know, I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to get. You know, we never know how many opportunities we're going to get with anybody. I mean, I'm tearing up thinking about it, just with the Kobe situation, you know. You just never know. And so I just wanted to be a good example, you know. And,
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and yeah. So yeah, I just want to protect her. I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Jaguar says that moment said it all. People don't speak like that unless they have seen or lived through something. In her view, Justin knows what happens to young artists behind the scenes because he lived it himself. She says the industry knew what was happening to other young stars too, but no one stepped in. Adults saw the warning signs and looked the other way.
Justin Bieber, and he was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was like, he was broke, almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billy. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown girl with Drake. These people are monsters.
When Jaguar talks about Diddy's past, she doesn't just focus on fame, she talks about childhood upbringing and the lack of real guidance early on. She believes patterns start young. The people who never felt protected sometimes grow up not knowing how to protect others. She also mentions figures who acted as stabilizers in Diddy's life, people who kept him grounded and accountable. When those figures were gone, she believes things spiraled.
They ran into Dapper Dan in Harlem and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. I knew his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. The woman that they're saying is his mother was a prostitute, no whore. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, that woman is his aunt.
Whoa.
There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers. Diddy's story is so convoluted, but nobody really likes talking about who he was before he became Puffy. Nobody, I would love if I could be granted an interview with him. To interview Diddy now in his most raw state about his life up until the age of 15 only.
Shit.
We got to learn how to stop making Diddy's. What made him him? Now, his pedigree comes from rat background. His father was a rat, snitch, not revered. He turned on Frank Lucas, who was the king of Harlem. And yet, Diddy was able to, siphon off enough of that juice, just enough to get people, but he needed Gene. Think about this. Gene was more of a father figure to Diddy than he was a bodyguard. And Gene was more than a bodyguard. He was an investigator. So when they went separate ways, clearly he couldn't hold up the act anymore.
And it seems the story about Diddy filming and controlling Justin Bieber may be more than a rumor, because Gene Deal says he has also heard about a tape that is supposedly being circulated, and it doesn't just involve Diddy, it involves another major celebrity, someone big, someone powerful.
If I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, there's only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith. He's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy, that's black? That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that black that Rat Pack, and I don't want to even say their names because they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner. What's the other guy? Leonardo. Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats, but I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him, and him doing some things with some other people. So it's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing, and I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they're really true. Because if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real crazy.
Whether the full truth ever comes out or not, one thing is clear: these stories didn't come from nowhere. They come from years of ignored warnings, uneasy footage, and people who sensed something was wrong were told to stay quiet. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Do you think we'll ever see Justin Bieber file an official case against Diddy? Let us know in the comments.